Good evening. It is Tuesday, May 4th, 2021. And joining us tonight from San Francisco is Smit. Ivo, good evening. You're on mute. We need to, if you can unmute yourself.
Hi, Steve. Thank
you.
you. I'm great.
And is your better half going to be joining us tonight?
She will be in and out. She had a call to show a $10 million house, so that takes priority on our team.
All right, so Ivo, why don't you introduce yourself and your group to this group?
Great. So Ivo Smit, originally Dutch, that's the accent you hear. I'm married to Missy Smit, who started in real estate 20 years ago. And when she moved over to start Compass 4 years now ago, we talked to each other. I joined her team, and we decided to build a team. So my background is I was a management consultant at McKinsey, and then I led the retail division for Ghirardelli chocolate in the US. That was a 600 people business. And we really decided to double down on Missy, her business. And our thought was that she could focus on selling what she's really good at and what she should do 100% of her time. And I would focus on analysis, building a team, bringing the data, bringing all the business processes to the business.
And Missy's been in, before you joined, she'd been in real estate for how long?
She was probably in real estate for 17 years and now 16 years at that point. Okay. So she had built a nice business. Yeah.
And what was, from the outside looking in, what was your impression of the business?
She is a great salesperson, great people person. And I think that's also when I see realtors together, extroverts, that's their strength. But she was definitely unorganized, all over the place, fire drill after fire drill, just making it happen, but not in a thoughtful way, I would say.
Okay. And when I first started working with Missy, you were sort of in the business. How would you describe your role at the time we started working together?
Yeah, I was staying out of it. So I was still doing my other job. And of course I had advice, but I was not accountable at all. So, and you know, I think the hardest thing for a realtor once they start building a team is to let go and not do everything themselves. So that's Missy wanted to do. She wanted to control. Everything needed to be 100% her way. So that's when you came in, Steve.
And so when Missy first called me, which was about 3 years ago, it was just her and Sharon.
Yeah.
Her assistant, who was also thinking about maybe she wanted to get in sales at the time, and Missy wasn't sure, you know, how that was all going to work out. And you were kind of there. And now, why don't you describe to everyone what the team looks like now?
So last year we did $130 million. We now have on the books 150 already, and it's just beginning of May. So we are aiming to go over 200 this year. We are, as of 2 weeks ago, we were with 6 people. We hired our 7th, and in June I'm bringing our 8th person on board. And we have a little bit of different structure, I would say, than other teams. So we will have 3 salespeople. One of our operations people is actually making a jump into a sales role, and we will actually have 5 people in the background. So 1 full-time marketing person who helps us with listing presentations, also runs our social media, is a real expert in marketing. Really incredibly impressive. Then we have 3 people on operations and project management, and they do everything from last year. I think every listing we sold was staged. And when I say staged, it was everything from floors, painting, everything. So we run the whole project for our clients. So that's 3 people. Also, one of them is Missy's assistant. Missy, the only thing she should do the whole day is in her car, meeting with clients, meeting with potential clients, doing negotiations, and then it should be handed off to somebody. So our goal is to really keep any operations organization away from her. So when she's in her car, she gets on the phone with Remy. She keeps track of her calendar and her email. And during the day, she constantly gets the most important things that happen during that day. And then I run the strategy of the team. I help with marketing. That's my background. And I also do finance, HR, because some people overlook that. But there's a lot of HR things that once you start building a team, there's a lot of pitfalls there.
And one of the things I always say is, if you want to work harder and make less, start growing a team. And you've done the opposite. I don't think Missy is working as hard, or at least not the same number of hours that she was once working. And I think there's less stress on her and productivity is going up. So what do you think that you're doing differently that what traps aren't you falling into that you think other realtors might fall into when it comes to building a team?
They are, and there's also no more fire drills, or like a lot less fire drills. I think that was one of the pitfalls we had. So one of the things we have heavily invested in, first of all, our investment is in people. We hire too early and we pay too much. But that's how you get good people. And then we went really overboard on our processes and procedures. So we implemented Salesforce, which is an overkill, with a marketing bolt-on onto it, which we are probably the most analytical real estate team in the country. And like, I might be exaggerating, but I can tell you, we track everything. We track our stagers. I know which of our stagers gets the most revenue per square foot. I can say the same about painters. I know which other agents we go up against in presentations. I have stats on who we win against, who we lose against. Luckily, we don't lose that much. I can tell you of the last email on Friday that we sent out, or no, maybe we sent out yesterday. We brought a new listing on and we sent in a blast to 1,800 agents in San Francisco. I can tell you who opened it, where they clicked. I can tell you which agents play now in the 1 to 2 million range, in the 2 to 5 million range. So we really know all decisions we make are based on data. So I think that's something the team really appreciates, and that helps us to also all stay in our lanes. So I think that's the biggest pitfall, is really Missy should stay out of marketing. She should stay out of the project management of the operations team. And if she has to get involved, that means that we have a problem there. So everybody knows what they should be doing. We coordinate every morning. We have a staff meeting where we coordinate. We go through all our projects. We know in which states they are. And so it's a well-oiled machine where everybody knows what their task is.
So let's go back through it. Hire too early. What does that mean exactly?
I am constantly looking for great people. So when you start a team, you can make a decision to go 2 ways. You can hire people that already have the skills and the established and maybe a little business already, or a lot bigger business. So people who have been in the business multiple years. But after talking to Steve, we actually really wanted to mold our team and also not bring people on board that are already set in their ways. because our business processes are different than how most realtors approach their business. So we constantly look out, and I am constantly talking to people. I saw a person in the office, one of our office people, and for example, I've observed her over the last couple of months, and I told her, hey, if you ever decide to go and join a team, go into the business, come and talk to me first. So we find our people through people, and we really look for fit. So everybody on the team needs to approve for somebody to join the team. And it's, if we find a good person, I will find something to do for them. So that's because if you have to start, once you start looking, it means you're too late, because it means somebody has left. It means you have a hole in your business. So we are probably always overstaffed with half to a full person too many.
Okay. What does pay too much mean?
Of course, I don't think it's too much, but a lot of people are penny wise, pound foolish. And we think of our business as we are all going to make more money by growing the pie. It doesn't matter if somebody takes it, or if you have to give up more of your pie, because you can make, we are, if we jump this year from 130 to $200 million, it will pay for anybody we would have hired. So we just want to hire the best talent. And I also don't want people to be tempted to jump ship, to start their own business. So also and this was one of Steve's things, you are in sales or you're in operations. You can do half. You can be like, oh, I'm in operations and I'm selling 1 or 2 properties a year, because then your priorities are the wrong way. But everybody also on our operations team has skin in the game. So everybody gets a percentage of every deal. And it of course varies with who you are in the organization. But that means that on a Friday night at 9, when a client wants to write an offer, everybody is willing to jump in. So yeah, some people are not willing. I think we probably have the best paid operations team in, and I say that a lot now, but we definitely overpay. If I looked what I was paying at Ghirardelli, I'm paying all people on our team more than any of my 600 people that I was managing there. So.
And talk a little more detail about being process driven, and specifically how you use Salesforce as your CRM.
So everything we do runs through Salesforce. So we know about people, so we probably have now around 4,000 contacts, but I have their kids' names. I know when their kids are going to graduate from college, it's in there because it's a triggering point when they might want to sell their house. I know when they bought and sold their last house. So we have a lot of data on our clients and potential clients. And then we have another part of it where we have all our opportunities. And the main split is sales opportunities and buy opportunities. But to give you guys an example, if we bring a house on the market, it will go through 6 phases. And in these 6 phases, there's over 200 check marks we have to go through, because we are a premium brand and we don't want to drop the ball on anything. So everything is tracked, everything is assigned to people. And we know, so that way it's not like, oh, we forgot to schedule this, or the sign didn't show up. In the last 2 years, we have not missed one launch date of a house that we promised to our sellers. It's a lot of maintenance, because your system is only as good as the data you put in it. So that's one of my struggles, is to avoid from people going back to, oh, I'm so busy, I'm going to write it on a sticky note, or I always did it in Excel. No, we can't do that anymore, because everybody needs to know what everybody is doing. And that way we avoid dropping the ball.
And you mentioned that you track everything. And so you have definitely made the transition from making decisions solely based on impulse, yeah, to making decisions based on data and information, and a little gut feel thrown into the mix.
Yeah, everybody also, all our clients have a source, we call it. And so I know who our biggest referrers are. So earlier today, I looked up, we have, for example, have 2 people who have referred us over $50 million in business over time. And that was not one deal, that is multiple deals. So we also give Missy and our other salespeople, we give them triggers when they should call, especially these important people, these important referrers. So every month they will have a touch point with these people. And that is actually instigated by our operations team that looks in Salesforce, and we just, not every week, but at least once a month, we look at who should we contact, who haven't we spoken to, who are big referrers.
Talk about the transformation that you've seen in Missy over the last 3 years in terms of what she does, what she thinks about on a daily basis, what she does, and how she's spending her time today versus 3 years ago.
She's a lot happier. It's what you say. There's less stress. There's less fire drills. She's doing what she likes, and that is meeting with people, seeing houses, also very important, meeting with or being in touch with other realtors to know what's going on in the market. And so I would say, when I had my old job, I liked probably 40% of what I did, I liked, 60% I didn't like, I just had to do. I would say Missy likes 95% of what she does now, and that's also what she's good at. And you often see that when people are good at something, they get really good. They do really well in it. So she is happier. The business is growing really very healthily. And I think also what she has realized is that she really likes to mentor new people on the team. So she loves to work with our other sales agents and actually help them through situations that she has seen before, point them in the right direction. I think that has been the biggest surprise for her, is that it is not so much about it's not about the money anymore. It's about loving your job, and it's about working with other people, and it's about also for a lot. So Missy and everybody on our team has been very competitive in sports, so they love to win. So it's more about winning than that it is about living to the next paycheck.
And did she go through any type of resistance in letting go?
Oh, terribly.
Okay. Talk
and
about that a little bit.
Yeah, so it's when you have been responsible for your own brand for 17 years and built a business and done it your way, it is very hard to let go of certain things. And in the beginning, she was very hesitant to give buyers to our buyer's agent at that point. But after half a year, she actually thought, wow, it's freeing up my time. I can focus on the bigger deals. So I think that is the hardest, is to let it go and to also listen to other people. Not making, and Steve, we call you when we have a situation. Steve is not only our real estate coach, he's also our marriage counselor. But it's been, I think overall, I think that's the hardest part, just to, and Missy is it's still extremely hard for her to stick to our processes and procedures. So that's why we have our Remy, who calls her, who puts her data in the system. If it was up to Missy, she would still be working on Outlook and Excel spreadsheets and little sticky notes. So we're definitely still working with her on also using everything we have in Salesforce.
Wait, Steve, can I chime in for 1 second?
Oh, there she is.
Go ahead, Missy.
I mean, I don't want to cramp Evo's style since he's doing so well. But I would say in the beginning, delegating was really hard. And my favorite Steve Scholl's story, of which I have many, is when I was at a photo shoot and I was trying to be on the call with Steve. And I was like, hold on, Steve, I got to move the pillow. I got to move the pillow. I got to move the flower. And he was like, what in the world are you doing at a photo shoot, moving a pillow? Like, are you out of your mind? You have like 5 people who could do that for you. And I'll never forget it because the pillow became this running joke in our coaching relationship. And I have definitely not moved a pillow in a really long time. And I'm never going to move a pillow again. Although maybe once or twice, but I think that like the pillow to me is so representative. Like I had such a hard time relinquishing control in the beginning, but like something pivoted in the last 6 to 8 months where I just like what I'm doing so much that I'm like, I have an awesome team. I trust them. I care about them. And Evo's always reminding me that if I micromanage them, they're not going to want to work for me. They're going to be like, you're so annoying. So it's like the idea of if they're doing it 85 to 90% well or 95% well, that's good enough. And frankly, a lot of them are doing what they do much better than I would ever do anyway. And I've realized that. So I think it was hard in the beginning. And now I'm just like, I don't need to read the blog. Like, I don't need to read the marketing. Like, great. Like, just send it out. Like, so it gets easier every day. And that's been the best part. I'll stop talking.
No, you bring up a great point because there was a time where you felt like, no, I do need to read the ad. I do need to approve the copy. I do need to see all these things. What shifted for you that you were able to let that go?
I think practice. I think you guys coaching me and realizing that you really are going to get the best out of people when you just expect them to do the best and that you're not looking over their shoulder all the time.
Hold on.
So I think that was that's it. And then, yeah, just kind of making the decision that these women on our team plus Evo are like extremely capable and really, like, honestly, better at their jobs than I would be. Like, I'm really good at the selling part. I can outsell them, but I can't outmarket. Let me tell you, I can't analyze anything to save my life. I mean, if I had to do any of the things that Evo do, I would have already been fired. So just realizing that they're all better at that and that they all have their unique talents and that, hiring people who have a different skill set from you, I think has been really important. So that's my answer.
I brought this up earlier with Evo. I'll ask you. One of the things I typically say is if you want to work harder and make less, build a team. And you guys have been able to actually build a team where you're working less and making more. As you look back at what's happened over the last 3 years, are there any key moments or key decisions that stand out for you in terms of why you've been able to put this together in a way that actually works?
I mean, the motivation was joining Compass, working with you encouraging me, and then putting the kids to bed at night and then having 2 hours of emails. And I was just like, this is crushing me. Like, I want to be able to like have a life. And sorry, I just sort of lost the question. I'm sorry. I'm like sitting in my car. Ask me that one more time, Steve.
When you look back on the last 3 years in terms of building the team, is there any revelations that you had that allowed you to put this together in a way that works, where for most people it doesn't really work in terms of building a team?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I think just deciding that if you're a salesperson, you're probably really good at that and maybe really not good at much else. and you have to solve for those things. And if you can solve for those things and kind of own it and love it. And, I'm a big believer that the future of real estate is teams, right? I look at sole practitioners and I think like, I don't know how they do it. I honestly do not know how they do it. You can't wear every hat. So yeah, I think it comes back to a lot of like relinquishing control and then putting people around you who empower you, right? I mean, obviously my work with my husband, who's hired all these people. I mean, I don't even think I could have gotten around to hiring them because you're so busy and in the moment. So I think you need to, have somebody on your team who's going to help you build the team, because again, we all just get so bogged down in the day-to-day stuff. So.
And that's a key piece that you just brought up. If you're doing everything, it's pretty hard. It would be virtually impossible to put a team together. Disagree with that?
No, I mean, if it was up to me and I didn't have Evo on my side, I would probably still just be with Sharon, right? I mean, just the HR aspect of finding the people, finding the talent, doing the contract, the payroll. I mean, there's so much to that, to like running the business behind the scenes. And again, like, I don't generally think people who are good at sales are probably really good at that stuff, or I should just speak for myself. I've got a really small lane and I'm good at that, and I'm really not good at much else. So, yeah, I think you just need to find somebody who has a really different skill set who can help you build the team.
Evo, before we wrap up, what are the things that you're thinking about as you look out into the future in terms of where you want to go with the team?
So I want to grow our business, but I don't want to actually put more time into our business. I think I really want us to be more of mentors to the business, and I really want to also have, in the end, it all begins with your product and happy customers. So I would rather make a little bit less money and have all happy customers than not do that. So that's also one thing. Like we really sat down, and Missy had built a great brand, but we sat down when I joined the team, and it's like, what is our brand? Who are our customers? What does that mean for our product that we need to deliver? How do we set ourselves apart from our competitors? So those are, you need to have a strategic plan and then stick to it. And the temptation is very, very big to say, because so we have a premium brand and we ask premium commission, Steve, like we have this conversation often. And then you get into these conversations, but I can get this deal if I discount a little bit. And that's not our brand. So we deliver full service. We have 8 people on the team. We can do any showing for your house. So yesterday we had an example here in the city, like an agent that we wanted to show the house off. They were like, yeah, I can show it on Friday at 10:15 in the morning. And they had no other availability because they didn't have a team. We have 6 licensed people on our team, so we can do it. So we really want to deliver. If our clients ask something from us, we will deliver within 2 to 4 hours. We will deliver on what they ask from us. So that's what I think about. So we will keep expanding as I find more people that fit our team, that are fun to work with. We will add them to the team. And this is all about, life is too short to think about, I have to go to work today. We really want to go to work today. So I think, does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. Missy, how do you see yourself evolving going forward? We may have lost her. Yep. We did. All right, Evo.
I can answer that for her. I think she really wants to be more of a mentor, and coach people and help people to grow and to take things further than what they ever expected themselves to take.
Beautiful. So anyone who is thinking about building a team, or anyone who has a team, I would definitely encourage you to go back, re-listen to this call. A lot of wonderful nuggets. Missy and Evo are actually building a team that works, where the lead agent isn't working harder to make less. The lead agent has a lot less stress, and the team is doing a lot better. That's a model you want to follow. So Evo, appreciate your wisdom and generosity tonight. Take care, everyone. We will be back in the morning. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Evo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Evo and Missy.